Oh, this is Mr. Hornsby 3. This is the Mr. Hornsby 3 show, and we are about, hour and a half to 2.5 hours away from San Diego Comic-Con starting. I think it starts either at 5 tonight or it starts at 6. Either way, we probably won't see nothing until like around freaking 11 or 12 o'clock at night. So I'll try to stay up and see if I can, catch what they show off at preview night later on tonight. But this is my final predictions for San Diego Comic-Con and my final wish list for what I'm hoping to see at San Diego Comic-Con. So what I'm expecting to see and what I'm not expecting to see. And we're going to start with Hasbro Marvel Legend figures. That's where we're going to start off. Then we'll work our way all the way to all the other stuff and all the other toy lines I cover in this freaking in this video. So let's start off with Marvel Legends. And the first thing I think I want to talk about is, in the X-Men 97 wave. X-Men 97 Season 2 is almost over. Got 3 episodes left. Today's episode was pretty good. Looks like we're setting up a big final battle for these last 3 episodes of the show until next season, which will be next year. But I think now that the show is back, and we're in Season 2, we're deep in Season 2 now, I feel like we might see a Bastion figure. Because Bastion was the main villain of Season 1 of X-Men 97. And we have not gotten a freaking Bastion figure yet. So hopefully we're going to get a Bastion figure now. They'll probably reveal it sometime tonight or sometime over the Comic-Con weekend. Next figure I think we will see with X-Men 97. I think we're going to get an X-Men 97 Mr. Sinister, because Mr. Sinister was a big part of Season 1. It looks like now next week's episode is titled, it has a title that makes you think we're going to see the Savage Land. And who's most synonymous with the Savage Land with X-Men? That's usually Mr. Sinister. And with the news of Adam Driver possibly playing Magneto, but then again he could be playing Mr. Sinister, who knows. But with that news, which I think we'll find out a lot about that too, I think we'll find out what character Adam Driver might be playing in the first live action MCU Marvel X-Men movie. We've had the Fox movies, but the first official MCU Marvel X-Men movie, I think it's gonna we'll get some news on that. Some more news on that this coming week. Because it only makes sense. Because when are they gonna come out with that movie? Like sometime in the next couple of years. Also, I think with the news we got last week, which was some pretty big news, with the Freddy Krueger, with the Nightmare on Elm Street coming back. Now, I heard it might be 2028 is when they're coming out with the movie, which would be fine and dandy with me. So, we'll see. We might get some news from that from this year's Comic-Con too. But let's get back to the X-Men thing. Alright, now, what else I think will be revealed from Hasbro, from the Marvel Legends line? I think it's, earlier in the year we got this big old news about some 2027 leaks for Marvel Legends for next year. So we might get to hear some more news about that. We might get to see some of those figures here at Comic-Con this year. Like all kinds of Marvel Legend figures. Like, there's supposed to be a new Magneto and a couple other characters I can't remember, but I know the one that stood out to me was the Magneto. Will they fix his height? Because the X-Men 97 freaking Magneto figure is way too short. They did fix it with the freaking version of him when he's with the X-Men in his X-Men suit, so I don't know. But I think we'll get news of the new Marvel Legends stuff. What will be the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for their X-Men line? I have no freaking clue. Maybe it'll be Bastion in his like Silver Hulk look or whatever it freaking was. Which would be pretty cool because we haven't had a Bastion with the Silver Hulk look. Could be a character from Season 2 of X-Men 97. You never know. But we'll have to wait and find out. Because, you know, Comic-Con, like I said, starts tonight. Preview night, the breakfast stuff and all that starts tomorrow. Yeah. So that's what I think we'll see from Marvel Legends. That 2027 leak thing might be shown off. Some of the things they got leaked for next year, they'll probably show off tonight. And then, you know, I think we're going to get a Bastion from X-Men 97 finally. And we're finally going to get Mr. Sinister from X-Men 97 because, you know, the show came out in 2024. We still don't have a Sinister. We've got all the other characters from Season 1 already. We've even got some characters from Season 2. And that freaking Ready to Order Apocalypse is coming out. What? In December, so that'll be releasing in December this year. So, we'll have to see. They might reveal their next Ready to Order figure, who knows? We'll see. But, here's things I want to see from Marvel Legends, and most of it is freaking X-Men related anyway. And I'm going to talk about some news that we haven't got yet about the next season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and why I think that might be. And I'll talk about that here in a minute after I talk about all this toy stuff. But first thing I would like to see from the X-Men 97 wave, I would like to see an Sabanor figure because, I mean, heck, Sabanor Apocalypse is a big part of this season. He's the main villain of the whole season. It don't look like anybody's going to replace him. We might get secondary villains like freaking Exodus, because like Exodus is probably going to show up in next week's episode. Because they did show in the trailer that Nightcrawler fights Exodus, so we're probably going to see Exodus probably in next week's episode. So, yeah. I also think I would also like to see the Prime Sentinel figures be made, like a few of the Prime Sentinels characters getting made. I mean, heck, even if they made a Boulevard Trask as a Prime Sentinel, that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, I'd like to see freaking Boulevard Trask as a Prime Sentinel from Season 1. What else from X-Men 97? I think the Cable outfit, I know they made a Marvel Legend of it, but I like to see Cable's outfit from the last 3 episodes of Season 1 as well in the X-Men 97 line, redone like they did the Cable they made years ago, and then they redone it with this freaking Cable, with the one that wears in his normal Cable suit, so yeah. Would love to see Apocalypse from Season 2 of X-Men 97. The closest thing we're getting to that is that ready to order freaking Apocalypse figure, which won't come out to December, and I didn't get a chance to buy it, so I'm gonna have to wait till like someone like Toy Department or something gets it, or if Comic the Games gets it, I'll probably buy it from them. I don't know where I'll put it because it's a gigantic figure. I'll think of something. What else I would like to see from X-Men figures is, well, I'd like to see Sabretooth be put out since we just got Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike in last week's episode, so I'd like to see Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike be put out. Maybe a Maverick figure. We had that Marvel Legend ones years ago. And, you know, for sure gaming stuff, some of their Gamerverse stuff, this is also going to be X-Men related too, but I would love to see Apocalypse, and I'd like to see the freaking X-Men line from X-Men Legends 1 and 2 be made by Hasbro. Like, I want to see freaking Magneto and the Brotherhood from 1. I'd like to see freaking X-Men from or X-Men Legends 1. And then X-Men Legends Rise of Apocalypse. I definitely want to see Apocalypse with the freaking cape and all that stuff from that game. And I like to see all the other characters, like the X-Men, the Brotherhood, and all that stuff. I thought that look that they have for Sabretooth in that game was pretty cool. It's not as good as traditional look. They also had Juggernaut as well. That's another one I like to see is Juggernaut. But I'll talk about that when I get to retro card back figures. But I would also like to see Juggernaut return in X-Men 97, which we haven't seen yet. I'd also like to see Ms. Deke return in X-Men 97, which we haven't seen yet. But it seems like Valerie Cooper is not going to turn out to be Mystique, like I think a lot of people were predicting before season 2 started. Like, oh, she's going to turn out to be Mystique in the end. Not yet, not so far. But so yeah, that's what I'd like to see from the X-Men 97 line, and I like to see these characters be put into the cartoon as well. Now let's get to some retro card backs, because you know what? I would love to see some more retro card back X-Men the Animated Series figures. Like, we need a Juggernaut. I think we need Colossus from that. We need, who else? I guess Quicksilver and frickin' Scarlet Witch, because they were in that one episode, Family Ties. It also had the High Evolutionary in it. Like to see Shadow King in his astral form, which I think would be pretty cool to see. Who else? There's a couple other ones I'd like to see. I just can't think of them right now. But yeah, from the original animated series, I'd like to see those characters be brought back. Like, you know, we need to see a retro card back Juggernaut from the animated series. We need to see retro card back Sabretooth. Yeah, that's another one. Retro card back Sabretooth from the original animated. Because he totally looks different. I mean, if you look at X-Men 97 and freaking X-Men the animated series, yeah, they're supposed to be in the same time frame. They're the same, like, X-Men 97 is a continuation, but the characters look totally different in X-Men 97 than they looked in the X-Men animated series. Like with Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister looked like he had a black suit on throughout most of X-Men the animated series. Now, yeah, you can tell he's got a blue suit in last season of X-Men 97, but I like to see, yeah, Mr. Sinister. Yeah. They look totally different. Wolverine's outfit looked totally different from the yellow outfit he was using. Storm looked totally different from the outfit she was using. They look totally different from the animated series counterparts. And I don't know if that's because the animation's better with this show now or what, but, you know, come on now. The griminess that the characters looked in the original show compared to what they look in the X-Men 97, every freaking character looks too bright and too shiny in X-Men 97, where they look more realistic in the original X-Men the animated series. But I am not finished with retro card back figures from the X-Men universe. So let's go to the cartoon that came after X-Men the animated series. I'd like to see a retro card back wave of the X-Men Evolution characters. I mean, there was a lot of characters that had good designs in that. From like Wolverine, Storm, Sabretooth. I thought Magneto was like looked the coolest that he did in the freaking X-Men the animated series. He looked even better in the X-Men Evolution suit than he did in the X-Men the animated series suit. So I'd like to see that. I would also like to see Sabanor from X-Men Evolution. Although they didn't call him Sabanor in X-Men Evolution at all. They didn't call him that at all in the freaking whole run-up. They just called him Apocalypse. Now, there was a point where Magneto, where, you know, Beast is looking up freaking Apocalypse's name, and then Magneto's like, well, try his real name, Insabanor. And then they found out a bunch about him. I'd like to see the freaking flashback Insabanor, and I'd like to see the freaking Insabanor where he just freaking washed the X-Men and the Acolytes at the same freaking time. And the same Insabanor that just freaking killed Magneto in X-Men Evolution. So, yeah. Yeah, I like to see X-Men Evolution characters be brought in. Like I said, yeah. Retro card back, especially a lot of collectors nowadays probably are, you know, that collect X-Men figures, probably are just hoping the same thing, that we get X-Men Evolution figures, that watched that cartoon as a kid. Now, I was an adult, I was like I was kind of in between a teenager and an adult. I was like in my later teen years and get ready to go into adulthood when that show came out. It started in 2000. So in 2000, I was about probably 16, 17 years old. And it ended in 2003. So, and then by the time the show had ended, 2003, I think I was, oh wait a minute, it might have been 19 or, I don't know, can't remember. Yeah, I know I was freaking at the end of my teen years and at the beginning of my adult years when that show ended. And I believe I remember watching it. Yeah, I was like probably 20 when the show ended. So yeah, 'cause that year it ended, that's when me and my wife got married. So, anyway, 2003 was the year we got married, and that's when that show ended. So, I mean, yeah. I'm sure, though, a lot of people that are adult collectors now probably want X-Men Evolution figures. So why not give it to them? Retro card back X-Men Evolution figures. Now, not only do I want Insabanor from X-Men 97, from the Rise of Apocalypse 2-part, I want to see Insabanor from the flashback scene in the Beyond Good and Evil episodes, where like they're showing him going in Lazarus' chamber. He don't have his armor on or anything. He's just, you know, no armor. He's in his freaking Insabanor gear. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a figure of that too. Retro card back figure of that. Because I thought he looked pretty cool like that. Yeah, he was still gigantic in that. But, you know, he looked like a normal mutant in that, than looking like a freaking Sentinel like he does any other time when they showed him on TV. So, yeah, I'd like to see the flashbacks of him going into the Lazarus chamber recharge, I guess, in Sabanor. That's what he's doing, going into his Lazarus chamber and freaking recharging. So, yeah. Yeah, we ain't done with X-Men yet, though, because there's one more freaking cartoon that came out that I like to see figures made of. Hopefully, when X-Men 97 is over, and this might be why they haven't given us a full Age of Apocalypse storyline in X-Men 97, I'd like to see Wolverine and the X-Men figures be made. I think it'd be pretty cool. Now, yeah, they kind of made them over the years under the Astonishing X-Men, because like Wolverine and the X-Men costumes were freaking Astonishing X-Men costumes. So I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, Astonishing X-Men, or, well, Wolverine and the X-Men figures be put out. I wouldn't mind seeing Ultimate X-Men figures be put out as well, but we're probably not going to get that. So, we'll see. But, I don't know. If you want your Astonishing line, you can just do the Wolverine and the X-Men, because that's pretty much the costumes they had, was the Astonishing X-Men costume. So, yeah. Now, let's go over to G.I. Joe. But no, because I'd like to see some more retro card backs of the Spider-Man animated series figures. Can we get more of those? Can we get a re-release of the Spider-Man from that cartoon? because they came out years ago. That fucker was fucking hard to find. I still ain't found it. I had to settle for getting the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, which he only shows up in the final episode of the Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is the two-parter. But he ain't even in that costume because instead it was at the point where freaking Carnage took over the other Spider-Man and he had that suit. But yeah, so I want to see freaking more retro card-back Spider-Man Animated Series figures. And I'm pretty sure people would like to see Spectacular Spider-Man, maybe freaking that freaking stupid Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh god, that one was so stupid. I swear to god, I hate that freaking cartoon. Yeah, that's the only Spider-Man cartoon I can't tolerate. I didn't watch the one after that either too much, but when I did watch that one, at least it was better than freaking Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh boy. Anyway. So yeah, I like to see retro card back Spider-Man Animated Series figures. Because, you know, hey, I think we gotta get it. I think something's going down because we have not heard nothing about Season 2 for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That'd be a reason why we haven't heard nothing yet. Anyway, I'd also like to see some more freaking Ultimate Spider-Man Unlimited figures. Yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited, which I think is an underrated show. I think it does not. I think it gets way too much hate. It's way overhated. When you got a cartoon out there like freaking Ultimate Spider-Man, and you want to still call Spider-Man Unlimited the worst cartoon ever, you're crazy. Yeah. Now we are getting some throwbacks to the original Spider-Man animated series, which was the one they did before Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. But, yeah, which I think they're doing figures for that. I think they also revealed they're doing some Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends figures as well. I don't know. I think it's just the old cartoon that came out, what was it, like the 70s, 60s or something like that? I don't know. But, yeah, that's what I think. Now let's go to our G.I. Joe stuff, and I think one thing we're going to see, and it's going to be Comic-Con exclusive, I think their Comic-Con exclusive this year is going to be Galobulus. They've done Nemesis Enforcer, they've done, and I'm not going to say frickin' what they want people to call it. Nemesis Immortal, I'm not calling them that. Nemesis Enforcer, they already did. They did Pythona. They've done the frickin' Cobra Law Supreme Guards and all that stuff. So I think it's time for Galobulus, and I think that's going to be their Comic-Con exclusive this year. But like I said, we'll find out in a few hours. Maybe tomorrow we'll find that stuff out. I know a lot of people like Pixel Dan and, you know, My Damn Toys and Shartimus Prime and all them people are going to be there. So I'll be watching a lot of their videos. Mostly Pixel Dan, because he gets the fastest updates faster than all the other guys do. Honestly. Like, he's my main go-to guy, except for with the wrestling stuff. But he gets his friggin' videos uploaded pretty quick so that people can find out stuff like that. So that's why I watch Pixel Dan a lot around Comic-Con time. So, yeah. Yeah, so I think we're going to get Nemesis or Galobulus, finally. Gonna happen. Hey, you know what? If they're going to do the frickin' G.I. Joe movie, they gotta frickin' re-release a Pentor. Re-release frickin' Serpentor, because I am so sick and tired of not being able to get my hands on the frickin' Serpentor Comic-Con exclusive they came out with a couple years ago, and that really pisses me off. You know, Toy Department's had it a few times, but frickin' was too high priced. And every time I had the money to get it, it was fucking gone. So you gotta re-release Serpentor. I'm so sick of not having Serpentor in my collection. I am very, very, very agitated about not having Serpentor in my... Because when they started the G.I. Joe classified, I'm like, God, there's gotta be two characters that they make that I want to get more than any of these other characters. And that's frickin' Serpentor and Sergeant Slaughter. Now, I got Sergeant Slaughter, but I have not got freaking, I've not gotten freaking Serpentor. Speaking of, I go back to one more Marvel thing. Can we get a actual cartoon version of Kingpin from the Spider-Man animated series? The one I got over there, it looks good and all, but it's not the actual cartoon version of Kingpin. It's like more of the comic version. But yeah, it was Kingpin. Kingpin's like one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, so I had to get him. The giant freaking mob balls who just could kick around Spider-Man like he's nothing. Anyway. So yeah. Can we get Serpentor again? I have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm getting tired of waiting to get Serpentor. So re-release the frickin' Serpentor figure. I don't care how you do it, just re-release it. Yeah. Freaking annoying. What else for G.I. Joe? Who haven't they made yet with the G.I. Joe classified figures? They've pretty much made almost every character. But wait. No. I'm still holding out hope that one of these years we're going to see the G.I. Joe team come out with G.I. Joe classified figures, and we're going to get G.I. Joe Extreme figures. I want to see some G.I. Joe Extreme figures. Can we get it? I like that cartoon. I thought it was a good cartoon. Probably not as good as the freaking 83 cartoon, 83 to 84, 5 cartoon. And probably not as good as freaking, or was it 82? One of those years. But yeah, it wasn't as good as that 90 cartoon either. But it was still pretty good. I like G.I. Joe Extreme. So can we finally get some G.I. Joe Extreme? I thought their villain Scar was pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing a crossover with G.I. Joe Extreme and now I know the freaking G.I. Joe Extreme characters are like supposed to be in the future. But that'd be cool. We get a crossover, Cobra Commander and Scar, like, you know, teaming up. Something like that. I don't know. Can we get some G.I. Joe Extreme figures? Been waiting forever. I can't even find that freaking... That cartoon has not been put out. They put out every other freaking cartoon on all these other apps and that, but they have not put out freaking G.I. Joe Extreme. Which is crazy to me. This was crazy. G.I. Joe Extreme! Alright, let's move over to NECA. And like I said, I think NECA, one of the biggest things they're going to do, they're going to reveal some kind of new license. Especially the fact that if if rumors are true, Mattel might not freaking want NECA making turtle figures no more, so they're going to have to find something else to plug their freaking toy line. But then again, NECA's been cashing the cow in on those freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon figures for so freaking long. You know, it's about time they do something fresh. It's gotten so point where it's so freaking repetitive. I don't even think half the freaking stuff they have from Ninja Turtles I've never found in stores, like that giant freaking Krang figure or any of that. I haven't found any of that stuff much. Some of the newer stuff they've revealed in the past couple years. Some things have came out, like, you know, the frickin' Cyber Toka and Razor and all that stuff, but man, they have not. I have not been able to find any of the frickin' stuff like that frickin', like the frickin' Giant Krang and all that stuff that they were supposed to come out with a couple years ago. I still haven't seen it in stores. Now, I guess the Savini Jason is hitting stores now, which means probably Part 8 and Part 9 figures will be not too long after that. But, yeah, man, I haven't seen nothing with them. But something I'm hoping for NECA is, I hope that one of their new licenses they reveal is a gaming license. And the gaming license I'd like to see them reveal, because there's a big game coming out from this franchise in November, even though we haven't got a trailer 3 to it yet. and that is GTA 6 is coming out. So I'd like to see NECA make GTA figures. I mean, honestly, I've been talking about that for years and years and years. I'm like, can we get some NECA GTA figures or something like that? We haven't seen it yet. Maybe we'll see it now since GTA 6 is coming out at the end of this year. We're 4 months away. Well, I guess you could say 3.5 now, because this month is almost over. 2 weeks left of this month. And then we go into August. But, yeah. I'd like to see them do GTA figures. And again, I like to go back to the action movie licenses. The frickin' horror licenses and that. And you know what? Since the announcement of this Freddy Krueger figure, since the announcement of this new Freddy Krueger movie news, maybe now NECA will reveal they're going to do more the rest of the Nightmare on Elm Street figures. Like, we got to get a part 4. We got to get a part 5. We got to get Super Freddy. Got to get part 6. You can redo the freaking new Nightmare Freddy Krueger figure with, the trench coat and all that stuff, and make it an ultimate this time. But I'd also like to see them do Leprechaun and Candyman and all that stuff, because those are characters they haven't tackled. They haven't tackled Leprechaun, but they have tackled Candyman, but that was their 8-inch line, and I don't care less about their 8-inch line. But I'd like to see them put out a Leprechaun figure, Candyman figure. I wouldn't even mind seeing them do a tall guy from Phantasm. Also Pumpkinhead. They haven't done Pumpkinhead ever. So can we get Pumpkinhead too? You know, they've done like Pinhead, they've done Jason, they've done Freddy, they've done frickin' Terminator, Predator, all that stuff. Can we get a frickin' Pumpkinhead and a Leprechaun and a Candyman? Yeah, can we get those characters? We haven't seen them ever. Especially Leprechaun. Come on now. We need a Leprechaun figure. And yeah, what happened to their freaking Puppet Master line? Because they did a few of the Puppet Masters and then they just went away from them. Maybe they'll go back to Puppet Master. I don't know. Who knows? Also, we need to get the rest of the Halloween as well. We need another part. We need a part 1 Michael Myers. We need a part... What is it? Part 4 Michael Myers, a part 5 Michael Myers. Instead of wasting your breath on making a stupid freaking Halloween Resurrection, you could have made a part 5 or a part 4 Michael Myers figure. Also, again, I'm one of those that thinks we should also get a lot of the freaking antagonists for this, the protagonists for this, not just the antagonist. Like, a Nancy figure would be great. Alice would be great. Kirsty would be great. You know, maybe we get a Tina who annoyed Jason throughout part 7. Tommy Jarvis would be a good one. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to see a Tommy Jarvis figure. We get all these freaking Ash figures from the Evil Dead. We get more Ash figures from Evil Dead than we do the freaking monsters from Evil Dead. So, yeah. Duchess Team from Predator. Predator 2 Mike Harrigan. I've been freaking pounding the table for that forever. It's like, you know, shoot, who else? Maybe a Mother Superior to go with freaking Billy. And, Billy's brother Ricky. They hated Mother Superior. Maybe a Mother Superior figure from Silent Night, Deadly Night. No. What else from Necro? And since they're doing the McDonald's line, we got to get my man. We got to get McKnight. Come on now. Man, we got to get Miss McKnight with the piano, just singing along and just, you know, talking about all the McDonald's burgers and all that stuff. We got to get McKnight, man. With the piano and everything. I did just see, yesterday, I did see the freaking Big Bird figure from the NECA figures. Boy, is that thing gigantic. But then again, Big Bird's gigantic. I think, like, what, the elephant imaginary friend of his, I don't think they made him yet. I'd like to see that be made from the Sesame Street line. You know, we've gotten the Count, we've gotten Grover. I don't even think they've put out Elmo yet. You know, and Elmo's kind of the new Big Bird on Sesame Street. Even though Elmo's been around as long as Big Bird in those shows, but now Elmo's kind of the popular one. When I was a kid, it was Big Bird. Big Bird was the main popular character from Sesame Street. Now it's Elmo. Oscar the Grouch, I don't think they've put out yet. So we'll see. What else for NECA? Also holding out hope that they eventually do a Bram Stoker Dracula. And let's get Keanu Reeves with his bad accent and all. Who cares? Let's get Keanu Reeves, man. Come on now. As far as action movies and that, I think I've always wanted to see them do a Conan the Barbarian figure. I know other people have done Conan the Barbarian, but I would just like to see them do Conan the Barbarian. And, you know, some figures from Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. That's what I want to see. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Alright, let's get into wrestling, and then I'll do a couple other ones, and then I'll freaking, then I'll end this video, because it's already 30-something minutes. 30-something minutes. For wrestling, I think all these leaked WWE lines and figures and that, we'll find out if they're true or not later today. We're going to find out if, you know, the Monday Night Wars figures, the next waves are going to have Kevin Nash and Hogan and, you know, Rock. Then now Rock's getting replaced by Austin, so I don't know. We'll see. I think we're going to get some new announcements on some new licenses. I don't think they'll show off anything. Like, they won't show off nothing for them, but like they'll announce once they get into the Q&A part from Ringside, because Ringside always does a Q&A. Like when frickin' Steve revealed a few years ago that they were getting the line to the Steiners, or they got the rights to the Steiners. Because like that year, they did not show off any frickin' Steiner figures or anything like that. And then like, when they did the Q&A, Steve's like, oh yeah, this shirt's got the Steiners, we got the right to make Steiner Brothers figures now. So, might get something like that. As for reveals, hopefully we see, you know, I think we're going to see, finally we're going to see Jacqueline, Victoria figure, because they never, they announced these freaking legend deals and they haven't made any figures of them. So we're going to see Jacqueline, we're going to see, Ivory, I think, as she announced. We're going to see what the, Tara. Was it Tara? Was her name Tara? No. Victoria. I think we'll get Victoria reveals. We'll get Ivory reveals. We'll get Jacqueline reveals. We'll finally get those this year. And like I said, I think some way or another, hopefully it's a Big Eagle, I think we're going to see another retooled figure belt be retooled this year. And I'm hoping it's the freaking Big Eagle. Whether they just change logos on the current design or what, it doesn't matter. One way or another, whether, you know, maybe they make it a little wider. I think it needs to be a little bit wider. Maybe a little bit bigger. Not too big, but it's got to be close to the size of the frickin' WWE version of the World Heavyweight title. Because, you know, it's not going to be the frickin' size of the WCW Big Gold, because that belt was like pretty much bigger than that belt, and you've seen it on TV and all that. So I don't know, that's what I think we'll see. Definitely gonna see Jacqueline, Ivory, Victoria. Who else did they reveal? I think we're finally gonna see a Tatanka figure in ultimate form. I think we're finally gonna see JBL. I'm pretty sure we're going to get more Cena figures and all that. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot more. And I definitely think, especially with Rey Mysterio being on those panels, people are like, oh, it's going to be a newer. I think it's going to be AAA figures revealed. Rey Mysterio's there to reveal all the AAA figures, which is fine with me, as long as one of those AAA figures becomes Conan. We have not gotten Conan. Now look, all the freaking NWO characters Mattel has made have all pretty much been covered. They've covered Bryan Adams. They've covered freaking... Bryan Adams is coming out with the next Monday Night War line. They've kind of, you know, covered, you know, Big Bubba. They've covered Dusty Rhodes. They've done plenty of Hogan, Nash, and Halls. They've done a few Macho Man NWO figures. Who else have they done? They've done a couple of Rick Rude NWO figures. Shoot, who else? Did they make a Mike Rotundo NWO figure? I don't know. I think they made Vincent because he was a Build-A-Figure. I don't think they've done Ted DiBiase as an NWO member. So, I don't know. Maybe those figures get revealed. Some of the NWO characters that haven't been revealed yet are going to be revealed. They've done quite a few Sixes figures as well. So they've done quite a few Six figures. Things I'd like to see. First off, I would just like to see fresh talent in the Monday Night Wars. I mean, we've gotten Rocks, we've gotten Austins, we've gotten freaking a bunch of other characters. I think a Rikishi in the Monday Night War figure would be good. Now, yeah, we've had Rikishi in other lines, but we haven't had Rikishi in the Monday Night War line. And I'm not counting the Fatu figure because that was Make a Difference Fatu. So I'm not counting that. So I think Rikishi, I don't think, well, we've seen Kane in the line. I think that freaking Undertaker, we need a biker Undertaker in the leather pants as well. I think Ming and Barbarian would be good to put in there, or, you know, I know a lot of people call him Haku, because that's why he was known as a WWF, but in WCW, I'd just call him by his WCW name, Ming. You know, but, Ming and Barbarian would be good. Macho Man, if they ever get the rights back to him, he'd be perfect to be in that line. Sting, if they ever got the rights back to him, he'd be perfect in that line. So yeah. And it seems like I think the next Stone Cold's probably going to be the Intercontinental title run Stone Cold. So he's probably going to come with the Intercontinental belt. Hopefully it's a new build that they've done for Stone Cold, a new mold of his new build. Maybe we get that. Let's see, what else? A wrestling gear Sid we have not seen yet. A wrestling gear Shawn Michaels we haven't seen yet. I think they did Commissioner Shawn Michaels as a Build-A-Figure. I don't know if that was for a Monday Night War line. But, you know, Big Boss Man's been, you know, done in the Monday Night Wars a couple times. Terry Funk hasn't been done in Monday Night Wars yet, so I'm pretty sure he'll be next. I'd like to see Scott Steiner in his black frickin' trunks with the Superman logos on his trunks, and hopefully this time Mattel puts it on, because like with the frickin' one they came out with from the final run when he won the WCW title, they didn't put the frickin' S's on the side of his trunks. They only put it on the front of his trunks because they didn't want to put 69 on it, because Mattel is making these figures, so yeah. I think New Blood Hulk Hogan would be one that I'd like to see made, like a New Blood Hulk Hogan figure. That might be the figure that might be in one of the next waves. Might not even be Finger Poke-a-Doo Hogan. It might be Hogan in the New Blood gear. With the FB something, freaking fuck the New Blood or something. That's what the acronym was for, but yeah. What else? Shoot. Who else can I think of from Monday Night Wars? Oh. Here I think. As for Ultimates, yeah, I definitely want to see JBL. I think, oh yeah, I think it's time to redo the freaking APA. Like, you can make them like chase versions too. Like, you could have Farouk and Brancho in the jean pants and the freaking tank or muscle shirt, and then you could have them in the freaking gear they wore with the freaking stuff. A Biker Undertaker with the freaking leather pants would be a good one to put out. Who else? You know, Undertaker, the Corporate Ministry Undertaker. Triple H with his gear before he got his traditional gear after he went heel would be another good one to put out. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see until they do the WWE. I think also too, I think we might see a WWE versus TNA crossover thing from the Ruthless Aggression time frames. Maybe we see WWE versus TNA figures. Could be a possibility. And whenever they get the rights back to the Legion of Doom, that'd be another one you could put in the Monday Night Wars. Because they were a part of both ends of the Monday Night Wars too. Because they started out on the WCW side as the Road Warriors again with the blue gear. Which we never got elites of those figures. We only got the 2-pack, which was basics. And then Legion of Doom from, 97 to 90... Or, yeah, 97 to 99. When they were, I don't know. I like to see characters like Draws on that be put out for the Monday Night War line too, but I won't see that. Well, we'll see. Alright. Let's talk about McFarlane Toys and then I'm going to end this because this video is close to 50 minutes. And the video I do will probably, the live stream Friday will probably be 50 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Depends on how much news they put out. But let's talk about what I think we're going to see from McFarlane Toys. I think all the rumored figures that have been coming out, we'll find out if they're coming out or not. Like, the Bane for Batman and Robin, the Winter Suit friggin' Batgirl, the Winter Suit Batman, the Winter Suit Robin, and all that stuff. Well, those weren't really rumored, but the people are speculating, well, if they're doing the suit with Batgirl, they got to be doing it with Robin and Batman as well. So, the Mr. Freeze. They were supposed to make another Mr. Freeze from that movie. Another Poison Ivy from that movie. We'll find out if all that stuff's true when it comes out. And I think Todd McFarlane's big exclusive now, they just revealed Spartan from Wildcats. I'm hoping that he makes the rest of the Wildcat figures. We had Grifter a few years ago. Gonna have to find that figure. And, the Spartan figure's gonna be like pretty expensive, but yeah. But if they make the rest of Wildcats, that'd be cool. But anyway, I think the Comic-Con exclusive for McFarlane this year, I think it's going to have to do with Mortal Kombat. I don't know what it's going to be. It could be Goro. It could be Kataro. It could be Shao Kahn. It could be frickin', something like that. But right now he's only focusing on the Mortal Kombat 2 figures. So I'm going to say it's going to be something from Mortal Kombat 2, the game. So we'll see. And we might get the reveals of what the next line of the Mortal Kombat Classic figures look like. And possibly the reveal of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive being Kentaro or Shao Kahn. Which would be just so awesome. But I don't know. Hopefully they're better than the current figures that he's put out. And hopefully they come with accessories like blast effects and all that stuff. So hopefully we get all that stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. Really, all I hope for McFarlane is that some of the Batman movie figures that have been like rumored to come out, I definitely want to see Bane from Batman and Robin. You can't have that complete Batman and Robin collection until you have Bane. And you've completed everything else with all the other... Well, no, because you only put out Batman and Joker from Batman 89. But the Joker was from the Batman 89 comic. But then again, they put out the Batman 89 comic Batman, and they put out the Batman 89 comic Harvey Dent figures. Two-Face figure. So I don't know. I think they'll complete that. I think we might see Vicky Vale, maybe Alfred. You know, maybe human version of Harvey Dent. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure McFarlane will have some kind of news on what his new license will be. Might be news of what his new license will be to replace freaking the DC line. So we'll see. But you know, I didn't give, you know, pretty much covered everything I want to see in the video last month. That's why I didn't do as much as I did in that last video. I did do quite a bit, but not as much as I did in the last video. So yeah, we'll just find out. This is gonna be a long news weekend, so we'll find out. I'll talk about all that stuff Friday, all the stuff that gets revealed tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. So yeah, but that'll do it. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Go check out my video on the future of the AEW figure. I'll talk about everything else when we get to. I'll talk about all the other toy lines like when we get to freaking the video Friday. But the main ones I wanted to talk about was Hasbro, WWE, Mattel, freaking McFarlane. What was the other freaking one? Oh, I don't know. I would like to see a new $1 Million Man. We have not gotten a new $1 Million Man in quite a while from Mattel. So, I don't know. But that'll do it. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Follow my Facebook fan page, Mr. 183 Show. Follow my Facebook business page, Trigen Toys. And Friday, I will see you guys for the live stream Comic-Con reaction video. So, alright. Peace out.